Understanding your hunger cues will help you know if you're truly hungry, and it also helps with self-control. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dine and Talk with Abigail. It's another beautiful Sunday. I hope you're all doing great. Thank you for tuning in. So, for this session as well, we're going to continue with our weight loss journey. So, for today's topic, we're going to call it Understanding the Hunger Cues. You know, there is a whole lot that comes with eating, but sometimes I feel like we really don't understand hunger. Like, why are we eating? So let's deep dive and see why we eat. If asked why you're eating, I think everyone can have a different answer to that. You know, like I just want to eat to nourish my body. I'm eating because I'm hungry. Or like I'm eating because that's what I have to do. You know, there is a whole lot of answers that can be given. But truly, is is there something that prompts us to eat? So for today, we're gonna look at some of the hungers, like our hunger cues. So there are three types of hunger cues. We have the physical hunger, we have the external hunger, and we have the emotional hunger. And I think understanding where you're coming from or what type of hunger you're on will help you determine what to do. So let's first look at the physical hunger. So the physical hunger is what you get that body signals, you know, like your blood sugar is down, you start getting jittery. Sometimes you can feel a little dizzy or your stomach is growling. That's when you know you're truly, truly hungry. So then you want to go eat. It's just your body's natural response. It's telling you that you're hungry, you have to eat. And that's normal. That's purely the way God designed our body. So there is physical hunger. So now you're probably asking yourself, yeah, isn't that the only reason why I eat? No, there is more to it. There is more to why you're eating. So let's look at the external hunger. So the external hunger can range from just being at an occasion, you know, just being at a church. And then after church, we have this nice potluck. And you might not be hungry, but for the reason that there is a potluck, there is that gathering of people, it just stimulates your appetite for you to eat. So that is the external hunger. It can also translate to mindless eating, you know, just eating like on special occasions, holidays, or just you being around friends and you're just eating whatever you can eat just because of that gathering. So it's just what you're surrounded yourself with at that time. So that is the external hunger. That sometimes can be truly hunger, but for the most of it, it's just that pressure from looking at people. It's just that pressure from seeing all these different types of foods that really trigger you to eat. So there can be a little caution with the external hunger. You would have to sit down and really ask yourself, am I truly hungry? You know, did I eat? Do I really have to eat? And then the last one is the emotional hunger. And let me tell you, that is what really, really most people don't have control over. And it really takes a lot of discipline to be able to control this type of hunger. So the emotional hunger will be any boredom. You know how you can be bored and then you just feel like grabbing a snack. And there is this word that we say, or this term that Ghanaians we say a lot. Asemanoye mise medi medi. You get what I'm saying, right? It's just for my non-Chi speakers, it's just a term that we say that I just feel like eating. Like I just feel like grabbing something to eat. And that's not because you're hungry. It's just because you're bored. And it's just a whole lot of emotions that go into that. So that usually leads to binge eating. So you're just bored, you're eating, you're sad, you're eating, you're happy and you're eating. Even when you're frustrated, you're just, you're eating. So that type of hunger is tied to our emotions. And truly, Understanding where you're coming from or what type of hunger will help you with being self-control. Okay, so why are we talking about this? We are on a series to understanding why we gain weight. And for us to truly understand what happens with that much excess calories that we're getting, we need to understand why we're taking that food to eat. So, understanding if you're truly hungry, if it's the body's natural response, which is the physical hunger, or is it the external hunger, which you seeing something like, you go to the mall and then you smell Auntie Anne's bread. Just that smell will just entice you to go buy something. So just understanding what type of hunger. Or it's Sunday, you're walking past someone's house and you smell their soup, that abenquine soup, the peanut butter soup that they're making to eat with their fufu, and just the thought of it, like smelling, and that just the thought of it will cause you to be hungry. And that's the thing. Trust me, that's the thing. So understanding if it's like physical hunger, if it's more of like an external hunger, if it's an emotional hunger, will help you suppress that idea, or like that control your sensations of hunger. Okay. Now let's talk about how we can modify that. And one of the first things that I'm going to say when it comes to modifying our hunger cues or like modifying why we eat too much, the first thing will be increase food between you, the distance between you and food. So let's say you're at home and you're someone that likes to have snacks with you on your bed, like you're watching TV and you just have snacks in your bedroom. You might not be hungry, but just with the thoughts or like just seeing the snack laying next to you on the bed, you're gonna grab it. However, if there is that distance between you and the food, let's say you keep all your food in the kitchen and you're upstairs, let me tell you, I will be lazy. I don't know about you, but I would truly be lazy to go down and pick that snack to come back and eat. So keeping a long distance between you and food can help. For most people that lack self-control, I say that would be a truly the best thing that you can do for yourself. Put the food away. Even in the kitchen, put the foods, your cereals, put everything away. The only thing that you really want to leave out is your fruits and some vegetables. The fruit is okay to have them open. So when you feel a little bit of hunger, you can just grab a snack like a fruit. But for the most part, the breads, the chips, the cookies, something that you truly don't even need. And if you do have it at your home, just lock it in your cabinet. That can help. Also, the second thing will be when we're eating, we have to eat slowly. We have to eat slowly. Sometimes you see some people eating and you're asking yourself, is there like an imaginary friend sitting with them, eating with them? Like why are they eating like that? You know how like sometimes you be eating so much and then you pause and then you feel like you're so tired. Like, sister, come on. It's not that serious. You're just eating. So let's eat slowly. And with research, we've learned that it takes your brain at least 20 to 30 minutes to tell you that you're full. And if you're eating, by the time your brain is telling you that you're full, my friend, hey, you've gone for seconds, you've gone for a third plate. So let's eat slow, eat slow. That would help. Also, portion control. Yes, I know I have gained that name, portion control. But there is a reason to all the madness of portion control. Portion your foods. We learned about the food groups. Make sure that with your plate, most of it, at least 50% of your plate is vegetables. The other 25% make it protein, and maybe the other one split it between proteins and fat. I mean grains and fat. But ideally, you want your plate to be vegetables. Half of your plate should be vegetables because the vegetables doesn't have that calorie bulk, it's not really dense. And it's going to fill you up too. Your vegetables is going to fill you up. So portion your plate. If you're eating yams, With stew, make sure you have a lot of the stew with the yams. If you're eating soup with your fufu, make sure there is a lot of the soup and a little bit of the fufu. If you're eating banku with okra stew, make sure you have a lot of the okra stew and a little bit of the banku. Okay? So portion control. And as we talk more with the weight gain series, I will come in here with all my tools and my apparatus, and then we're going to talk about the portion controls, the right size. So don't worry, we're going to touch base on that. Also, be mindful of what you're eating and where you're eating. Like I said, when you're around people and you feel like you eat too much, just tone it down. It's okay to sometimes to say no. With Africans, there's this thing. You visit your family, you visit friends, and then like maybe your friend's mom, they serve you food. It's so hard to say no to that adult. Like, it's just so hard to say no to an adult that is giving you food. That is just how we show love. But I am growing up to understand that sometimes it's okay to say no. It's not everything that you have to eat. It's not everything that you have to take. And I think people should understand that as well. We know that's how we show love. We just want to give people food. And it's not just our culture. With Indians or with some Asian culture as well, we give food to show love. If you're truly satisfied, you're full, and then you're out and then someone is giving you something, it's okay to say no. Say, auntie, you know what? I'm full right now, but maybe package it for me. I can eat it later. And there is nothing wrong with that. And for all the aunties and uncle watching me, please, if your son is telling you they're full, please don't force them to eat. Truly, they might be full, but they can say no. So let's all help the community. Let's all help ourselves so we're not eating too much. Okay. Also, the next thing will be eating breakfast. The amount of time that I talk about eating breakfast, like if we know the power that breakfast have on us, we will be eating breakfast all the time. Like, if you truly eat breakfast, and I'm not talking about just any regular breakfast, I'm talking about a balanced breakfast, a breakfast that you have like your whole grains, you have some proteins, you have dairy if you like it, and you can even add veggies as well, depending on what type of protein you're having. If you have a balanced protein, that really fill you up. And throughout the day, all you're doing is just drinking your water and minding your business. Like, you're just drinking water. The food that you're eating is just collecting. You're just sitting there collecting water. So you really want to have a good, balanced breakfast to help you kickstart your day. And the last thing that I want us to talk about is to always include protein with your meals. And I say this and I'm going to say this again. Lean protein, include protein with your meals. For breakfast, it's hard. I mean, it's hard for you to have like fish or like, depending on what you're eating, or chicken for breakfast. But there are other sources of proteins, like yogurt, there are cottage cheeses, there is Greek yogurt. Like, just have some sort of protein. You can have eggs as well. Always include proteins with your food. So that will be all for today. Let me summarize it all, just in case you didn't get anything. Understanding your hunger cues will help you know if you're truly hungry, and it also helps with self-control, right? So we talked about physical hunger, which is the body's natural response, telling you that you're hungry and you have to eat. And with this, no one is going to tell you you're hungry. Your body is going to tell you, and you're going to feel that you're hungry. When you get that physical response, eat. However, we do have the external hunger that can be just looking at a vending machine and just craving the food in the vending machine, or just being out, being in the community and seeing people eat and just being being enticed to eat. So making sure that you understand your hunger cues, and also the emotional hunger, don't eat when you're bored. Do something else. Read your Bible, drink water, go out, take a walk when you feel that emotions coming in, so you're not binge eating. If you understand your hunger cue, it will help you manage how you're eating. So that will be it for today. I hope you join me next week for a super fun edition as well. Have fun, and I hope your weekdays are blessed. See you next week. Bye.